The Selfish Podcast acknowledges the traditional owners of the land and waters that this podcast is recorded on.
Everything that we discuss on the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph is for informational purposes only. It's either our own experiences, opinions and insights or our guests. It's not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice and should not be relied upon as health or personal advice. It's time to prioritise yourself and your well-being. Subscribe now and get ready to put yourself first with the Selfish Podcast.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to this week's episode of the Selfish Podcast with Chloe and Steph. We have a pretty exciting chat for you this morning because where are you, Steph?
Well, I'm actually in a taxi at the moment. I'm in LA. I'm just on my way to Santa Monica Pier for a quick little look around before I fly back home. So yeah, it's Saturday afternoon here.
Amazing.
When
and
we're recording.
What have you been doing like this morning? Well, so it's for everyone here in Australia. It's my Sunday morning.
Your Sunday morning, yeah.
So where have you been swanning around this morning?
Well, so I had the week in San Fran for work and then I chose to fly back via LA because I could get home just a little bit faster than going home via San Fran. So I arrived last night, caught up with actually one of our podcast guests.
Yeah.
Julie, the amazing face map, Julie Civiello Polier.
Beautiful Julie.
Oh my goodness. So we pressed the flesh. It was amazing.
Wow.
So lovely. When, I was only here for 24 hours and I thought, I don't really know anyone in LA. Maybe I'll text Julie. I'll just DM her.
Yeah.
And she was free. So it was so lovely. And she's just as beautiful in person as even more so than on the video. So so good to see her. And then this morning, because I've been relatively, in a conferencey kind of environment for the last week, I went hiking in Runyon Canyon, which was just amazing. I just spent 2 hours up there going through the Hollywood Hills and it was so beautiful. Oh. I took some amazingly unskilled selfies of bins and dog bags. To go back.
Oh gosh, you're so funny.
But yeah. And then
I'm so impressed.
Well, because I want to stay awake because then it's an overnight flight. So then I want to sort of get back into Aussie time zone. So then I did that. Then I went to Rodeo Drive just to have a look around Beverly Hills, got a pedicure.
Wow.
Which was awesome, just people watching and now here I am. So it's been action-packed week.
Time. Wow.
Yes. What about you? What have you been doing?
Last night I went to a gig actually just in Adelaide. I saw the Tesky brothers with a girlfriend. Yeah, it was great.
What is the genre of that music?
I'd say bluesy, maybe a bit soft rock kind of. Yeah. They're an Australian band, two brothers, and then quite an ensemble actually. They had a sax and a trumpet and, the keys, all the things. So it was I've seen them previously at a festival. So this was really cool seeing them kind of in a venue and the venue was great. We've definitely got to hit up the venue, you and I, for some live music shows. It's just so nice to get out and about. Yeah, that wasn't – Adam was like, so was there any dancing? And I was like, nah, it was more just swaying.
Swaying?
A bit of a bop, but not a real dance.
Jigging up and down.
Just a bit of a jig, yeah. But it was great. It was really, really great. So I drove up and back and, just had a couple of gins with a girlfriend and, bit of a...
Lovely.
Yeah.
So did you spend the night in town or you drove back after the gig?
No, I drove back, It finished at 10:30.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I just hopped in the car and, was back here in bed by 12. And I had to... You're going to laugh at me. I had to get my book out. So I read a chapter of the book. Oh, my
goodness. Are you worried that you're reading these books too fast? Because you've only got 5 books.
Yeah. Oh, no, don't worry. I've got another
3.5?
Yeah, 3.5 through.
So do you feel like you need to – but do we need to pace yourself? Because you've been reading the rate
I don't
of
think
one
so.
book per
a week.
And so for those who haven't tuned in, we're talking about the Court of Thorns and Roses,
ACOTAR.
Steamy Fairy series.
So good.
Yeah.
No, don't worry. I've got the next lot.
So, well, because I'm concerned. I'm concerned for you. What's going to happen?
No. There's more.
What's going to happen in 2 weeks' time?
No. There's other series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got about, so there's
okay
like
then.
1, 2, 3, 3 that I know of, 3 or 4 potentially other series of the same kind of, ilk.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So don't you worry.
Because I was going to tell you to calm down a bit. Just slow your. I was going to tell you to slow your roll, but no. Okay.
Look, I probably will. This week has slowed. I haven't finished the book. Like I've only, I was a bit slower for the second, so I'm guessing it's going to slow.
Because, all I've got to say is I'm going to have to be reading this book the entire flight home because I've got a number of pages to get through. I keep falling asleep when I start reading it, like in a beautiful way,
busy
in a way where my body is just tired.
Yeah.
And I get through 3 pages.
It was probably helped you ease.
Yeah, it had. Well, it stopped me from scrolling.
Yes, this is the thing.
Or because of the time difference. If I get home at 1 a.m, it's daytime, it's middle of the day in Australia. So I just drunk text people, but they don't realise I'm drunk texting them. Or maybe they do.
Oh, nah, we're stupid over here. Well, speaking for myself.
I'm just saying hello. I'm not doing anything.
Oh, funny.
Oh dear. Funny. But I wanted to share with you one, I've just got 2 travel hacks.
Okay, share.
That I've really just honed the last 2 trips. So when I was in San Fran, so I was sort of, work meeting, work environment the whole week, and I just didn't want to be bothered doing my hair. So the second day I was there, I actually went and got a blow dry, a blow wave. What is it called? A blowout. My hair done by a hairdresser who uses a
hairdryer.
A blow dry. Yeah. Yeah, whatever it's a hairdryer. Whatever it's called.
Well, I think they're called hair dryers or blow dryers.
Seriously, and I went, same. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
I think so.
And all I can say is it was the best money I've spent the entire trip because I just had some dry shampoo and it lasted so long. I didn't have to think about my hair. It looked super polished. Well, I thought it looked polished. And
you did. You looked.
It's the way to go.
Love that.
It's the way to go. So I've done that. I did that for both trips. I did that for my Malaysia trip recently as well.
So how long did it hold up for? How long did it hold up?
3 days.
Wow.
3 or 4 days. Yeah. Because you just, put a bit of dry shampoo and also you're not touching your hair as much because it's sort of in a good spot. And it just, you can really extend it.
I
with
love
some
that.
strategic dry shampoo. And it was so good. And I actually had one, my haircut actually coincided with my last trip. And so actually when I went to Malaysia, I actually had one the day before I left on the plane. And that was also amazing because I just felt it just elevates your look.
Yes.
Having a blow dry. So
I would
highly recommend. Oh, you do. And then the other thing I've done both trips is got pedicures. So, because it's just you go to it's similar cost as it would be. On these trips, I often have a lot more time than I would have at home because when I'm at home, I've got other commitments and whatnot. So I just sat in on Rodeo Drive at a, manicure shop, nail salon they're called, and
manicure shop.
and had a pedicure and I feel fresh for the flight and my toes are going to look good and I don't know.
That's
it's
important.
A great way to people watch. Yes.
Good looking toes, always a necessity.
Good looking toes.
When travelling.
Yeah, well if you're looking to get upgraded, just he will do it for you.
Oh, I love that. Are we allowed to talk about your flight yet, or are we doing that next week?
I think. Well,
are we going to make everyone wait?
Next week.
Okay.
I think let's do it next week because I want to give you a full like end-to-end experience. Yeah.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Well, you've still got a leg to go.
You know what? Like, I know. Well, I'm excited about reporting back to you guys about my business experience. Okay. Yeah, first time ever. But it's interesting. Like when I was walking up Runyon Canyon this morning, I was just looking around because so what it is it's in the Hollywood Hills, and you're like you overlook the whole city of LA. I posted some stories today, but I'll repost them when the episode comes out. If people want to play along at home, our podcast or our Instagram's at the.selfish podcast on Insta. But and I was just sort of walking up there and I thought, you know what, like we can do anything. We can be anything. We can be anywhere. And I just felt this real sense of freedom and like hope and like, I don't know, sometimes in my day-to-day life, I don't know about you, I feel a bit stuck. And I feel like, stuck where we are living and stuck doing what I'm doing. And it was just that realisation of not a realisation because I've had this realisation before, but just a reminder that we can be anywhere we want to be. We can do anything we want to do. We don't have to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, if we don't serve us, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can choose.
Do you ever feel stuck?
Yeah,
do you ever feel
all
stuck?
The time.
Yeah.
But I think too, I do think that is part of life as well. And it's kind of having those moments of those realizations and going like, it's like doing that life stock take that we've spoken about before.
Yes.
And kind of just doing a bit of a rehash and kind of going like, do you know what, I can choose to change things.
Exactly. I can choose. Yeah. Yeah. And so I actually wrote a little, it looks like a poem, but I did actually stop along the track.
Yeah.
And I wrote, we can do anything. We can be anything. We can be anywhere.
I love that. Look, you're a poet. You didn't even know it.
Yeah. I keep walking on the wrong side of the track as well. So as I was doing that, I'm like walking in my phone and I'm on the wrong side of the path and everyone's like, what are you doing? Get out of the way.
So I'm an Australian.
No, but it was exactly. I'm Australian. We go on the other side of the road. But but that's what I love about travel. It just changes some perspective or just puts you in a different
mindset.
Mindset. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's good for the soul, isn't it? Changing things up.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I mean, like I miss, because a few people have said to me, do you feel guilty? Because I've had, 2 10-day trips in pretty like a month apart. And I don't feel any guilt. I feel zero guilt. I feel like I'm a better person. I'm a better wife. I'm a better friend. I'm a better mum by doing this kind of stuff, a better, worker and all of that kind of stuff. And so, no, I feel I unsubscribe from feeling guilty about this. It's a good thing. And I love seeing, pictures of Hugh and Fred and just watching them, they have had such a strong bond from get-go.
Oh, absolutely.
But, and Fred has started gesturing. Oh, my God, it's so cute. Like I feel like whenever I'm on these trips, it's just being away, like distance does make the heart grow fonder and it makes me just feel so grateful when I'm back home with them.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I did bump into Huey at childcare and I have to report that he was doing fantastically and holding the fort and, he's
I'm so grateful for him.
He's a good man.
So, you can't do these things without I couldn't be doing, the job I'm doing and what I'm doing without his support.
Oh, so beautiful.
So, no, very lucky. And you know what? It's already getting dark over here. It's
only
like 4:30. It's only 4:30. Well, because, they're going into winter. It's already getting dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. I'm trying to do a little like story on here saying that I'm talking to you. Well, where are you again? Well, it's not going very well because
I'm in a taxi on Wilshire Boulevard.
Wilshire Boulevard. Okay. I love how like boulevards.
Wilshire. Yeah, Boulevard. Yeah, it's a cool city. It's a cool city. I might stop at a like gummy dispensary, a cannabis dispensary. It's legal over here, and just drop a gummy before I get on my flight. No.
Tell me about gummies.
I'm not going to do that.
Tell me about gummies.
Like cannabis gummies. Cannabis
hilarious. Never had one.
Yeah.
Never had one.
No, neither. I don't think it's a good time to start when I'm about to go into like a metal vessel, which will be up very, very high in the sky and I can't escape. I don't think that's going to be a good idea.
Probably not. Let's be honest.
No, I won't do it. I promise. But if I had a few more days, maybe I would. Chloe, when I was talking to Julie last night, she mentioned something about an upcoming retrograde.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So Mercury is going into retrograde on the 13th of December. So we've got a little bit of time up our sleeve before we need to prepare. So
just in time for Christmas.
And it's retrograde until the 1st of January. So yeah, kind of that time to travel can be interrupted. There can be like technological difficulties and things like that. But it's also, it's a great time to take stock as well and kind of just slow down, which I think is perfect. Not for a couple of weeks.
Okay. Just to confuse everyone. Yeah.
What have we got coming up? Oh, well, we've got we're moving into Sagittarius season as well. Yeah. So how can I?
When does that start, Chloe?
So on the 22nd of November.
When do we drop this? We're dropping this on the 22nd. So today.
Oh, when you're listening, guys. So Sagittarius, really outgoing, cheerful. They are really faithful, intelligent, forceful, and sympathetic, and can often be wise beyond their years. Saggies. Yeah.
Saggies. Well, happy birthday, Saggies.
I reckon. So that until the 21st.
Do you want my contribution? My contribution to the star signs, as usual.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who have we got?
So we've got Taylor Swift.
Oh, I wonder what they're going to do for her birthday.
Yeah. She's 33 years. She will be. Oh, she'll be 34. Yeah. Got Miley Cyrus. She's a Sag.
Yeah.
Britney Spears, Jay-Z, Brad Pitt, Billie Eilish, a lot of musicians. Tyra Banks. I like a bit of Ty. She taught me about smiling with my eyes. And...
wasn't she a model?
Yeah. Yeah. She used to host America's Next Top Model. Ben Stiller, Christina Aguilera. Yeah.
So many.
Mark Ruffalo, the Hulk. Yeah, a lot of things happening.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. So Sag season is from the 22nd of November until the 21st of December. So, we can give some more insights.
And happy. So just an interesting thing I just saw on the interwebs. So Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's astrological compatibility is a touchdown.
Hey.
So they've got very good astrological. So
what's he?
They're very compatible. I can't actually see that in the article. No? It just tells me it's a touchdown.
You're just telling me.
I'm trying to get it.
No, that's
I'm just in the back of the cab just trying to juggle all my devices.
Look, you're doing a great job. You're doing an amazing job.
So Taylor's a Sagi moon and a Cancer rising.
So she's like me. Yeah. Cancer rising.
Oh. There you go. And Travis is a Libra sun and a Sagi moon.
Oh, that often, like when you are with someone, so she's a Sag sun, yeah? And then he's a moon.
Yeah.
So that so he's a Sagi moon. So because they will have like a deeper kind of understanding of one another because we've talked about like the top three kind of that you look at, moon, sun and rising. And so when your partner has the opposite of your sun to their moon, that can mean that like a deeper kind of connection and understanding.
Yeah, well, this one says, this is exactly what this says. They said one of the best astrological aspects that denotes a long-term relationship is a conjunction between one person's sun and the other's moon. A conjunction, in other words, is when a person's sun is the same sign as the other's moon. So for Kelsey and Swift, that's Sagittarius. The sun represents our will and determination, while the moon dictates our innermost sentiments, memories, comforts and emotional nature. When the sun and moon link up in two charts, it becomes a bond that cannot be easily broken. Oh, my God, it was written in the stars.
Didn't you say that she sung about this before? Didn't you say?
Well, she did, yeah. So she sang a song about, like, I'm 89, he's 87, and 89 is her date, and he wears 87. So, yeah. So, no, and they said it as an extremely steamy vibe as well. Okay. Going on with they've got a Venus-Mars conjunction. So there you go. Anyway, this article goes into a lot of detail, so maybe I'll link to it in the show notes if anyone's interested.
Oh, I love that. I've also got some more information for us because I've just seen that when we drop this episode, before we drop the following, we will have a full moon in Gemini. What day is the full moon? The 27th of November. Okay. Give or take a day depending on where you are. So Mercury, the ruler of this lunation, sees a square to Neptune and both the Sun and Mars square Saturn in Pisces. So there's a lot going on astrologically. So with lunations in Gemini, this full moon holds plenty of restless energy that is eager to move and explore. So this Gemini full moon is social, curious, talkative, and filled with ideas. Saturn square to the full moon may perpetuate overthinking and self-doubt, so take time to give structure to your thoughts and ideas. Interesting. Okay. It's a playful, excitable energy that is steeped in enthusiasm, but could also be expressed as insensitivity towards the feelings of others. So have a look at where Gemini is in your chart and think about what are you learning in this part of your life, and what ideas are you excited to share and explore more of.
Well, so I'm learning how good blow dries are.
You are. Are you going to start to are you going to get one once a week, do you reckon, down here?
So when we were in Singapore, I did actually get them quite often because they were quite cheap there. But maybe I just need to learn how to do the brush strokes and use the heat. Maybe
also, I need to do that Dyson, there's that Dyson wave thing. I don't know how my hair's short, so it wouldn't be worth me getting it. But with the Black Friday sales, it's like $300 off at the moment. Maybe that could be a Christmas present. Have a look into that. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Amazing. I guess I'm going to do another card pull because you cannot pull the card. So I'll just give them a little shuffle.
No, you do a solo pull.
We've got the beautiful Dreamy Moons Tarot deck this week. And which one am I going to pull? Well, maybe I'll just do the one on the top because it's looking at me. Knight of Cups. Let me have a look.
We get a lot of cups, don't we? We love the cups.
Yeah, what did we get last? 3, did we? 3 of cups or something like that?
Yeah, we had a 3, yeah.
Oh, this one's nice. Keywords are romance, charm, and lover. Affirmation is my life is infused with romance. Oh, I love that. If you have been looking for romance, this is a sign that it is finally coming your way. The Knight of Cups is a lover, not a fighter. He is here to sweep you off your feet with his grand romantic gestures and deep emotional intelligence. His emotions and actions are in perfect balance. He is deeply in touch with his feelings and isn't afraid to act upon them. On a deeper level, this card means that your emotional needs will be met either by someone else or by yourself. The Knight of Cups is ruled by his heart, so ensure you tune into your feelings if you are making a decision. Cool.
Lovely.
I love that.
I love it. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, you're coming home to your lover. You're going to be reunited
I know.
soon.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And you know what else I can't wait for?
Yeah. What?
I can't wait for part 2 of our chat with Kimberley Gallagher, which is just about to come up now.
Me too.
If you didn't catch part 1, go back and we'll keep listening to this and then go back and listen to part 1.
Absolutely.
But today we talk about grief and Feng Shui. We talk about crystals. We talk about broken items in the house, and we talk about Christmas. And what are all these Christmas decorations doing to our Feng Shui?
And the energy flow. Oh, I can't wait to listen in myself and, get some hot tips.
If people had like a creature hung on like taxidermy and that kind of thing.
Yes, do you know what? I saw that last night. What were we watching? Oh, something
David
awful.
Beckham?
No, Lux Listing Sydney is what we were watching.
Okay.
Oh. Do you know that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one. Of course I do.
And there was a deer on the wall. I'm not into that. And it, do you know what, I say normal people, the equivalent of that is maybe having pets' ashes in your home as well. And people do have pets' ashes.
Yeah.
What's that?
Pets' ashes. Pets who've died.
Like cremated pets.
Cremated.
What about I've got like a cow hide.
Oh, do you know what? That's fine. But then you could go down the route and be like, oh, well, what shoes have you got? That leather, like.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, we can't be getting rid of everything. That's
no, you can't.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So, and I often get some people say to me, are you telling everyone to get rid of everything? It's not very sustainable. And I think the thing is that we should just try not to buy it in the first place. And in Feng Shui, we work with elements. So we work with plants, water, fire, earth, like all of these natural materials that you can keep in your house for years. It's the stuff that's not natural that we end up turning over really quickly. So yes, you might have a cowhide, but you're probably never going to replace that in the whole time that you're there. And if it brings you joy and happiness, so you see that, somebody else might see it and go, oh my goodness, no, I could never have that in my house. That is fine. Everybody works differently.
Yeah. So going back to the pet's ashes, so we should not have that. So you think not in the house? Where do we put it then? If we like think we're going to move house and we don't want to put the pet in the backyard, like what would be a solution?
I think I ask a rhetorical question on this is, how do you feel when you see the ashes? So we had dogs, and when they passed away, we had a picture of them, a really happy picture, and we kept their collar on the picture. So when I look at it, it brings me joy. Like, it does make my heart ache a little bit, but it's a beautiful picture of them looking happy. When you see the ashes, what do you think? Do you just think dead pet? Or do you think, oh, how lovely, they had a lovely life? So it depends on how you look at it.
Okay. Okay, because I do have a question about human ashes. So our son passed 2 years ago, which is one of the reasons I wanted to start the podcast with Chloe, is to talk about healing and all of that kind of stuff. And so we have his ashes in our house, and like, I could eventually, when our family's complete with our future children, we will together put him in a beautiful place. But I can't do that now. So I didn't think I'd get so emotional. I was like, I can easily ask this question.
You're doing great.
So, I mean, what's advice around human remain? Human remain sounds terrible, but like cremated ashes.
Honestly, well done for asking the question, because so many people have this question and they never want to speak about it because we don't speak about these topics, which is why for you, I think it's incredible what you're doing. You're bringing this as a conversation to have, and so brave. And it goes back to my thing of, does it bring you joy? And
it brings me comfort. It brings me comfort knowing that he's there with you.
Like, he's with you. Absolutely. And you feel, joy is the wrong word, but it's that completion. Like, you feel comfortable with him there still.
Yeah, he needs to be there. To be there. Yeah. And sometimes we take him with us when we go on holidays. Sometimes we don't.
Then keep him there for as long as you need him.
Okay. Yeah, and I think we will, like, Hugh and I have discussed that, eventually we know exactly where we'll take him, but we want to do that with our, you know, with the rest of his brothers and sisters.
It has to be when you're ready. And again, I work with a lot of people who go through grief, and quite often it's when people have lost a partner. And I hate that word, like they lost. Like I lost my mum, you know, however 13 years ago, and I thought I didn't lose her. Like she didn't, you know, fall down the back of the sofa and I never found her again. Like I know where she's gone. But they don't quite know what to do. And I think what my advice is, and I've been toying with doing a podcast about grief because I feel I'm not qualified to do it, but it's definitely something that needs to be spoken about. So there's a few things that I tend to say to people, and the east area of your home is your family area. And that is where you feel that completion, like in your home, the east of that area. If you wanted to make better relationships with your family, you would have those happy times photos there. And it's dedicated to all of your family. And then the west is also about children, but it's about fertility. It's about new beginnings as well. So in terms of where you are, perhaps the east could be the photos of you together, and maybe that's where you kept his ashes. Maybe that can be like your dedicated family area. But then the west might be where you think, okay, this is, you know, where we want to move forward to. And as a family, like this is our pathway.
Pulling my ear.
This is where our pathway could be. But I definitely think it's every home is different, and whatever brings you comfort, then you absolutely do that.
Because it has been, I mean, we moved house in a hurry after we lost Arthur, and like even just decluttering this house is just such a, like, because we just basically put everything in boxes, moved it. It's such a mental barrier. And we started going through stuff yesterday because we've just got a room of boxes, which is like a lot of Arthur's stuff. And it's really hard because we've got, you know, he passed just, you know, he was only 3 days old. So it's not like he never came to the house with us. Well, he was, you know, in my tummy and all of that kind of stuff. I was carrying him, but we've got all of these toys that he was gifted, and sort of opening up those boxes is just like, it's so hard. But I don't want to get rid of the stuff, but I don't want to, like, I want it accessible, but it's just, it's so difficult to know what is the right thing to do, and not right in terms of, you know, what society tells me, but just for me and for us, and it's
you as a family
really challenging
to also move forward, I guess too.
And we've got paintings that, you know, people have given us, or all of these sort of mementos, and at the moment they're sort of all around the house, but I think it would be really nice to maybe have a spot where that stuff is, like almost like a little altar, which the current house doesn't really have the right space for that. But I like what you were saying about the east and the west.
And sometimes people just need to be like, I don't know what to, like, tell me where to put it. And I'm like, oh, it's really hard. But just knowing those two different spaces might help you. And also, like, it doesn't even need to be like an altar, for example. It might be that you have a little chair that, you know, that maybe that's the area there. Like, it doesn't have to be a sad space necessarily. Like, it can be somewhere that it may be like a reading chair or something like that, and you keep some of the stuff. And I think when you're going through this stuff, it's obviously very, very emotional, and Feng Shui works on your intentions going forwards. And it's not forgetting what has happened previously. It's about the next chapter in your book. And that doesn't and it doesn't mean that the people that were in chapter 2 can't come along to chapter 3. They still can. But it might look a little bit different. And so when you think about that next chapter, what is it that you want to do? Where is it that you want to go? And when you're going through the things, I tend to, if people have a real emotional pull on things, then you can do it in 2 stages. So have like a yes and not a no, yes and a maybe. Yes, we keep, maybe we keep. And then the maybe, just move out of your home, whether that's in the garage or whether you keep it in the trunk of your car forever. Like we always have those places. And if you've not then thought about those things for a month, then that's okay for them to go.
Yeah.
I think the pressure comes from having to instantly decide and instantly get rid of. And what if in a month's time, I wish I'd kept it?
Yeah.
And we what if through absolutely everything. Through the medicine cabinet. What if I need to stitch someone's arm back on? Like I will therefore keep all of this stuff. Like what if just in case in Australia it hits -10? I'd better keep this coat.
Exactly.
Like it's not,
You're speaking to my inner hoarder. You're speaking to my inner hoarder because there's always a what if there. Yeah.
And do you know what if? And a lot of the time with the wardrobe, I get asked about, well, what if I do lose 10 kilos and I fit back into the clothes that I used to fit into? Do you know what? Congratulate yourself and buy yourself some new stuff. Because that stuff's probably gone out of fashion if it's from before kids. Like it's changing our minds, and often, without going too deep, it comes from what happened in our childhood and whether we were allowed lots of things or whether our families had to work really hard to get things, that we keep things like what if, just in case, or maybe our parents were those people that had a shed full of stuff that one time that you needed a spare roof tile, there was one there for you. And it's just about you've got to be okay with it. And I would never put somebody under pressure to get rid of stuff. But it's also that I give permission to people to get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that. You need somebody to say, it's okay. You can your next chapter is now. And that's fine.
And I think if, when you're saying you're setting the intention for your next chapter, again, that just makes so much sense. And it does. It's like, okay, well, we don't need all of that stuff. We can choose to keep some of that stuff if that is meaningful to us and feels good and fits in. But actually we can, we can look forward.
Yeah. And I think that's really important for anyone in any situation, that by looking forward, it gives you a bit of sort of confidence in the now, and that things, you can dream of happier days or better days or healthier days or being with somebody, rather than being caught in the daily, it's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. Again, let's do the what if, but the what if in a nice way. What if this could happen? And what if you could feel this way?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Now we're coming into Christmas. Christmas trees, lots of trinkets, decorations. Is this a Feng Shui nightmare, or is this a?
It really is. I'm just being honest. It really is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I've just done a podcast actually all about Christmas, and I realised at the end that I sound like the worst Christmas.
The Christmas Grinch.
Honestly, and I love Christmas. So, but the more I went down this rabbit hole of Christmas decorations,
either plastic tree or a dead tree.
Yeah.
Is there one that's better?
Red, yeah.
Like, yeah.
Metal things dingling and dangling
in your house, like clutter, honestly. So I sort of managed to talk myself into giving myself permission for things at Christmas, because somebody said the Gold Coast is too hot to have a real tree, it won't last, and I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? But Christmas is about family, like that's what it's about. So
it brings you joy.
It does bring you joy. And if you have to have an artificial tree, you have to have an artificial tree.
Yeah.
So the things that I would think about, the biggest thing is think about the colours that you are bringing into your home, because Christmas can be a stressful time, full stop. You might be under pressure to have the best day of the year.
Yes.
Or financial pressure, or you may have members of your family that never come round, but because it's Christmas, they come around and you eat Brussels sprouts. Like that's, you know, that's what happens. And it's your home and you're inviting them in, and that can be really stressful. So the colour in Feng Shui to avoid is red. Not avoid, but just to be careful of. Now, of course, everything to do with Christmas tends to have a red theme. Whether it's your Christmas, you probably don't wear Christmas jumpers over here, but in the UK it'd be a Christmas bikini or a Christmas cozy. Your Christmas apron may be red. The decorations on the tree, the table runner on the table, you know, might be red. So
Christmas dress is usually red.
Christmas dress. And so just think about last Christmas, and was it a fiery time? Was there any edgy energy? And if you think with red, that's the fire. And so the element that we use to cool that down is water. So watercolors. So anything from Maldivian blues to the deepest, darkest black seas, that comes under the watercolor. So if you have the red, you can cool it down with the blue. Or what I did last year in the UK, because I was like, we're moving, I don't want to buy new decorations, is I just put everything in and then just started peeling back on some of the red. So if it felt a bit stressful, I just moved some of the reds out and I bought in more metallics, more, you know, blues doesn't suit every house, but the silvers and the golds. And that brings you that sort of solidarity, and the sort of strength and the coolness, you know, of those silver colours as well. So just be mindful of that.
Maybe have a blue dress code. Everyone has to wear blue.
Yeah, or even green, like
greeny blue.
Green,
yeah. And you know, when you're listening to music, if the Christmas music is driving you nuts, then when you're sitting down eating your Christmas dinner, when you're trying to have the best time ever, and everyone's like eating chocolate for breakfast, and it's all a bit high energy, just don't put Christmas music on. Like, just be. I think it's me giving you permission to be more aware of the energy in your house. And if last year it was really stressful, there are things that you can do just to cool down the energy in your home.
Yeah, I love that.
Me too.
That's so cool.
Beautiful.
Can I ask a question, or can you ask about your crystals in the wall?
Oh yeah, I did write that down. So when we did the renovation, Kimberley, I placed crystals, different crystals, inside the walls.
Nice.
With little affirmations as well.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing?
Well, they're in the wall now, aren't they?
I know. Well,
you can't get them out.
I did do a little bit of research into it, and I heard about like the sound bowls that to cleanse the crystals.
Yes.
In Feng Shui, do you use crystals a lot? What are your thoughts on crystals?
We do, and I think again, for some people, they have absolutely nothing when they see a crystal. They don't. So enough. I have mine here, like just one sat next to me, just there. But I'm guessing you put them in because it made you feel good. It brought you joy. It brought you happiness. It was a beautiful like ceremony as a family as well. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Totally. And that's what crystals can do. They're quite powerful. And I'm actually at the minute sort of creating a collaboration with a lovely guy that's got a beautiful crystal shop. So we're going to have some Feng Shui crystals that you can put around your home. So I think they're really powerful. And if you feel connected to crystals, then they can, you know, even if it's just in your own mind, that they make you feel good, they make you feel that you can achieve those affirmations that you put in the wall, then what's the harm? And it's a bit like Feng Shui. If it makes people feel good, is there an argument between whether it works or not? Like if it makes people feel good, and it's the same with crystals.
True.
If you feel good by carrying a crystal with you or putting them in your wall, then carry them, because instantly your mood will lift, your vibrations will rise, and therefore you're more likely to attract the things back into your life that you're putting out there.
One question on the crystals. My youngest I went away to Brisbane for a work retreat, and when I got back, I noticed that one of my rose quartz crystals had been broken. And my youngest it was just beside the bath. And Adam, my husband, said, oh, yeah, unfortunately, Val broke it. I've noticed on some of your Instagram things that broken things are not so great. Thoughts on getting rid of this crystal?
What do we do with the crystal?
I'm afraid you need to replace it.
I need to, okay. I thought so.
Yeah.
So anything broken,
anything broken.
Okay.
So, and again, it comes back to that sustainability sort of chat, but it's almost, there's so many different theories behind it, but by keeping something broken and not replacing it, it's almost like that sort of like, oh, I don't deserve a new one because I've bought it and it should be okay. Like, am I deserving to get something new because it's broken? It's financial. Well, I paid money for that, so I don't want to pay for it again. So the theory in Feng Shui is that energy is now broken. And so anything like even in the kitchen cupboards that you've kept, or you think, oh, one day I might get that working, or chipped crockery, like chipped bowls, chipped plates, all things like that is a feeling of negative broken energy. And that's not what we want, especially if you have them where you're near your bath and that's where you relax, then you want that to be a nice, calming environment. So I'm afraid, and sometimes there is a theory behind crystals breaking that they've done their job.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
And it's so really interesting because my husband gave me this crystal. And now that my son broke it, I'm like, ooh, what does that mean?
But you could view it that the work of that crystal was done.
Yeah, it's
done,
healed.
And now it's time for a new crystal. Yeah.
Kids pick up on amazing things. So maybe
Valley is very...
Yeah, we're done with that one.
We're done with that one.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore. I'm not feeling from it.
Need a new one.
Because I, on a slight tangent, but I did a one-to-one with a client the other week, and we went to her home last week, and we put the remedies outside and all the crystals, and she had a toddler who was very energetic, running around. And as soon as he went near the crystals and the metal that we're going to put in, he just sort of sat by the side of it and started singing.
Wow.
I know. So there we, so with Kit, maybe he just picked up and was like, the work here is done.
The work here is done.
It's time to get a new crystal.
So what about broken stuff that can be fixed? That's still okay? Or is it like, actually it's broken, just...
No, you can get it fixed, but just get it fixed.
Get it fixed, yeah, okay.
Rather than like, one day.
I'll
replace that.
Either fix it or get rid of it.
Yes.
Okay. And what about like secondhand furniture or secondhand clothes? I mean, there's a lot of thrifting going on these days.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's totally fine. And I love that. But treat your furniture like you do your clothes. Like before you wear them, you'd wash them or take them to the dry cleaners, or you do something with them. Then do the same with the furniture. And it's a bit like crystals. When you have a crystal, you might put it outside for the night. If you can, just let that furniture just breathe a little bit outside, or the clothes, just, hang them on the washing line, wash them, and then sort of hang them outside again. Just let that energy go. You may, if you're into saging, you might want to sage the furniture. I love to sage, but my husband always says that the house smells of old clothes when I do it.
Oh, I love it.
Me too. I was going to say, does saging have a place in Feng Shui? Like, is it connected, or is it sort of two separate practices?
No, definitely. It really does, because you're burning off the negativity. So quite often on a Sunday, I do Sunday saging when my daughter and husband do it. Little
Writing
nippers.
that down. Sunday saging.
And he came back the other Sunday. He was like, have you been burning something? I was like, no. And he was like, have you just checked your Instagram because you did a post about Sunday saging? I was like, damn it. So I would sage the furniture, but do it outside of your home, so that energy isn't then burning in your home. And when you are saging your home, have the doors and windows open, because you want that energy to leave your home.
Beautiful.
And if you don't like a sage stick, you can use a candle. Like, it's still got that flame, and it's the intention that you're doing it. So you don't just light it and forget about it. Go around your home, and if you're looking at those 9 areas of your life and your home, and there's one particular area that you feel that needs clearing, whether it's the southeast, if it's your wealth, or the north is your career and business. So maybe you just like, I feel a bit stuck. Really just spend some time in that area. And the amazing thing is that you'll find that the candle or sage will burn at different rates throughout the house, and it picks up that energy.
Oh, I'm going to take note of that.
I mean, that's quite woo, but
I love it.
I love
We're
the
all
woo.
about it.
We love the woo woo. And Kimberley, you've mentioned, east is this, west is that. So do you have like a map that you could share with our listeners to talk through the different areas?
Absolutely, because it probably sounds like I'm speaking a different language. So on my website, which is the fengshuiflow.com, I have a free download, and that download is the mapping of like the 9 areas of your home and how to find them.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Love it.
Amazing. So our final question is, obviously we're the Selfish podcast, just taking care of ourselves. How do you take care of yourself and be a little bit selfish so that you can fill up your own cup and give to others?
It's such a great question. So when we moved here, I realized I need to take care of my mental health when we move. Like, it's a big thing moving across the world. And I could very easily just throw myself into work and get on with things. But I knew that there'd be some processing time that I needed to settle into being over here. So my time is I drop my daughter to school, and then I drive to Broadbeach on the front, and I would say run, but it's definitely a sedate shuffle.
A sedate shuffle.
Love that. I love that as well. Let's write that down.
Shuffle my way up to Surfers and back again.
Amazing.
And I grab a coffee and I sit on the stairs to the beach, and I turn off everything. So I listen to podcasts when I run, and that's me just filling my cup there. And then I listen to nothing, and I just look at the sea. And I do that as many days as I possibly can. And it would be so easy for me to come back from school to get straight into work. And I put pressure on myself then because I don't get back until a certain time. Like, I think for me, it's saying every day I do it, and therefore it's a non-negotiable. I don't have to fit it in. I'm like, well, I just have, like, it's just part of my day.
Yeah,
and it's
beautiful.
easier for me to say that than to go, I do this 4 times a week, because every day then I'll be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'll make it up tomorrow. So it's quite simple, but it doesn't cost me anything apart from a coffee, and I feel much more at peace physically and emotionally when I do that.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Love that.
Amazing. Well, I don't know, you've made me think very, very differently about clutter, about the home, about the energy flow, because I mean, on the pod, Chloe and I have talked about all sorts of stuff from, acupuncture, Reiki, all of these different things for the body, but
the home is an extension of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. Now, how can people find you?
So I'm the Feng Shui Flow on most places. So Instagram, my website, not on TikTok because I think I'm too old for that. I tried it for about a week and I was like, oh, this is rubbish. I'm not doing this anymore. So the Feng Shui Flow on Instagram, and I give lots of reels and tips on there. And my podcast is also the Feng Shui Flow on Apple and Spotify. Honestly, thank you so much for having me, because I feel like you just said, we don't often think about our environment. We don't often think about our home. So I'm so grateful to you guys for being so open to having a conversation about Feng Shui and for having me on. Honestly, thank you so much.
We've loved it. Thank you, Kimberley. And I'm sure that many of our listeners will come over and jump on the bandwagon and take up, the inspiration that you've given us around improving our energy in our home and within ourselves, and
and making it practical and not modern. That intimidating piece.
Not too hard.
Thank you.
thank you all so much for listening. We really do appreciate your support. Please subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a rating and a review. And if you like this show, please share it with a friend and tell them to have a listen. Just send them the link to that Spotify or Apple or wherever you get your podcast. You can also connect with us on Instagram at the.selfishpodcast. You can always slide into our DMs as well and let us know if you have got a different type of treatment that you'd like us to explore, or if you've got any specific questions. Anyway, thank you again, and we'll see you next week. Bye.